My dear friends, as the morning sun rises and paints the skies with new hope, there's something sacred about those first few quiet moments of the day. When the world is still and your heart is open, that's when the Lord speaks the loudest. Each morning is not just the start of a new day. It is a gift, a chance, a divine opportunity to align your heart, your mind, and your purpose with the will of the Almighty. Before the noise begins, before the distractions of life pull us in every direction, there is strength waiting to be claimed. There is peace that surpasses understanding. There is clarity in the presence of God. And it begins with prayer, not empty words, not ritual, but a soul-deep conversation that breathes life into your spirit. You see, prayer in the morning isn't just a habit. It's an anchor. It reminds you who you are, and more importantly, whose you are. It sets your course straight before you take that first step. Whether you woke up with joy in your heart or burden on your shoulders, when you pray in the morning, you're not facing the day alone. You're standing on solid rock, fueled by faith, equipped with the mindset of victory. So come now, let us talk about how to begin each day not with fear or fatigue, but with power, perspective, and a peace that nothing in this world can take away. There is a quiet truth that many overlook in the rush of daily living. Every single step you take, every decision you make, points your life in a direction. You are not wandering aimlessly, even when it feels like it. You were created with purpose, formed with care, and equipped with the power to choose. And these choices, these simple everyday decisions, are not small in the eyes of God. They are the compass points that lead you to the destiny He designed for you before the foundation of the world. When you begin to step with intention, something remarkable happens. You stop drifting. You stop following the winds of culture or the opinions of others. You stop reacting and start responding. You start to walk not according to what is easy, but according to what is eternal. Now hear this, friend. When you wake up in the morning, you are already at a crossroads. Will you choose fear or faith? Will you walk in peace or in pressure? Will you answer to distraction or discipline? Each moment is an invitation, not just to exist, but to live deliberately, to walk the path marked out for you with a steady hand and a faithful heart. And it begins in your thinking. It begins when you say, "Today I will not be tossed by emotion or circumstance. Today I will step with clarity. Today I will speak words that lift. I will think thoughts that honor, and I will act in a way that reflects the one who walks with me." It does not matter where you came from, it matters where you are going. And to get there, you need more than ambition. You need direction. You need a compass that doesn't fail, one that isn't swayed by fear, fame, or fleeting desires. That compass is the wisdom and presence of God within you, whispering through the Spirit which way to turn, which voice to follow, which path to stay on. But you must choose to listen. You must choose to obey. You must choose to walk with your eyes fixed not on what is behind, but what is ahead, toward the promise, toward the prize, toward the calling that lifts your soul above the noise of this world. Stepping with intention doesn't always look dramatic. It can be found in the discipline to get up early and pray. It lives in the quiet decision to forgive when you'd rather be bitter. It breathes in the strength it takes to speak truth when lies are louder. These decisions may not feel world-shaking at the time, but over the course of days and years, they shape you. They shape your relationships, your witness, your legacy. They shape your destiny. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. Don't wait for the right circumstances or the applause of others. Begin now, right where you are. Take one step in faith. Make one decision in love. Speak one word in kindness. Act once in obedience, and then another, and another. The road will not always be easy, but the direction will always be clear when your eyes are on the one who leads. He does not promise the absence of trial, but He does promise presence in every step. That presence gives you the power to stand when others fall, to walk when others quit, to press on when everything in you wants to sit down and give up. Your destiny is not some far-off dream waiting at the end of your life. It is unfolding with every intentional choice you make today. It is revealed in the way you treat others, in the integrity of your work, in the consistency of your character. It is shown when you say yes to the voice of truth and no to the noise of compromise. And oh, how powerful it is to realize that you are not bound to your past. You are not confined by your mistakes. With every step, you are writing a new story. With every decision, you are shaping a future that aligns with grace, with courage, with calling. That's the miracle of intentional living. It does not require perfection. It only requires surrender. It only asks that you show up each day with a heart ready to be led, a spirit willing to obey, and a mind made up to trust. So if you've wandered, return. If you've delayed, begin. If you've doubted, believe again. There is a straight path set before you, and it's not too late to walk it. There's power in your step when you know why you're walking. There's purpose in your pace when you're being guided by the Spirit. There's promise in your path when your heart is fully His. And though storms may come and trials may rise, you can walk with confidence, with authority, with boldness, because you're not stepping alone. You're stepping with heaven backing you. You're stepping with truth beneath you. You're stepping with grace covering you and destiny calling you forward. You were never meant to wander through life hoping things might fall into place. You were created to walk in alignment with something far greater than your own understanding. And when you do, when you walk each step with intention, you'll find that your life begins to move in rhythm with something eternal. You'll find that peace is not a place, but a presence. That purpose is not a plan, but a posture. That destiny is not a destination, but a daily decision to follow the light that never fails, the voice that never misleads, and the love that never ends. And when you live like that, you're no longer surviving, you're soaring, you're no longer drifting, you're directing your life towards something holy, something high, something everlasting. And that is how every choice becomes a compass, and every step takes you closer to the future you were made to fulfill without hesitation, without fear, without turning back. There is a fire inside every heart that wants to rise, a spark planted by the Creator Himself. But that fire needs fuel, it needs choices, it needs commitment. And not the grand sweeping gestures that make headlines, but the small, almost invisible decisions made in the quiet corners of daily life. You see, the future does not arrive all at once. It builds slowly, silently, decision by decision. That's the secret many overlook. The future is not something you wait for, it's something you create. And you create it with every choice, every response, every step that honors the higher call placed deep within your soul. Momentum doesn't begin with a leap, it begins with a shift, a whisper of discipline, a flicker of resolve, the choice to get up just a few minutes earlier to pray, the decision to speak truth when it would be easier to stay silent, the courage to walk away from what's comfortable in order to embrace what's eternal. These things may seem small, but oh, how powerful they are when they're fueled by faith. For it is in the small that the great is born. It is in the quiet that thunder is prepared. And when you give yourself to those small, right choices, you are laying down a track that leads directly into the future God has designed just for you. You don't need to know every detail of tomorrow to start building it today. What you need is faithfulness now, obedience now, intentionality now. For the one who honors God in the little things will find strength for the greater. When you say yes to the right things in your routine, in your thoughts, in your private life, you begin to gather something stronger than motivation. You gather momentum. And momentum, once it begins, carries you farther than willpower ever could. This is how destinies are shaped. This is how lives are changed. Not in the spotlight, but in the stillness. Not with applause, but with humility. The decision to forgive when your heart still aches. The choice to stay when you'd rather run. The resolve to pursue excellence even when no one is watching. These are the building blocks of forward motion. And with every right decision, you are adding fuel to the fire. You are stoking the engine of your purpose. You are partnering with the divine in bringing forth something greater than yourself. Now, don't be discouraged if progress feels slow. Even the strongest rivers begin with a trickle. What matters is that you keep flowing. What matters is that you don't quit. Because consistency in the small brings breakthroughs in the big. You're not called to change the world in a day, but you are called to be faithful in this one. And when you are, the effect ripples far beyond what you can see. That kind word you offer, that habit you refuse to break, that scripture you choose to meditate on, it matters more than you know. It's not just a decision. It's momentum in motion. It's your future being forged in real time. And hear this, when you choose to fuel your future with small decisions rooted in truth, you are also protecting your future. Because for every right choice that builds momentum, there's a temptation that wants to derail it. The enemy is not threatened by a single big dream. He is threatened by a life that is consistent, a heart that is steady, a soul that is anchored. Because that kind of life cannot be shaken. That kind of life cannot be bought. That kind of life builds forward motion that storms cannot stop and fear cannot shake. So ask yourself each day, not where do I want to be in 10 years, but what can I do today that honors the calling I carry? How can I speak today that brings light instead of shadow? How can I act today in a way that reflects the truth inside me? How can I love deeper, walk straighter, and stand taller, not for attention, but for obedience? For it is not the loudest among us who move mountains, but the ones who quietly move forward when no one is looking. And oh, how the Lord blesses a faithful step, not always with comfort, but always with strength, not always with ease, but always with clarity. For when you walk in His ways, He meets you on the path. And when you choose what is right over what is convenient, you align yourself with a power greater than your own. That power doesn't just push you forward, it lifts you, it carries you, it surrounds you, and it ignites something in you that this world cannot take away. Your future is not waiting for you at the finish line. Your future is unfolding under your feet with every intentional step you take. And the beauty of it is this, you don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need to be willing. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take one faithful step and then another and another. That's how you build momentum. That's how you move mountains. That's how you turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Not by waiting for the right moment, but by making the right moment with the choices you make today. So let the fire burn. Let the Spirit lead. Let the small things matter again. Because when you choose with courage, act with purpose, and trust with your whole heart, you're not just going through the day. You're fueling your future. You're creating motion that heaven can use. You're setting a rhythm that aligns with eternity. And with every faithful step, you're not just moving forward. You're becoming the person you were created to be, rising stronger, walking wiser, shining brighter with every passing moment filled not with hesitation or regret, but with bold, Spirit-filled momentum that only grows stronger with every step you take into the calling that cannot be shaken and the future that is already waiting to be lived through you by grace, through faith with purpose unshakable and hope everlasting. There comes a moment in every life where the soul must decide, will I live as though this day matters, or will I let it pass as though it were ordinary? The truth is, there is no such thing as an ordinary day in the hands of God. Each sunrise is a fresh canvas of purpose, a divine appointment, a new chance to choose well. And the choices you make, the yes you offer, the no you stand on, they shape not just your schedule, but your spirit, not just your moment, but your mission. Every single yes is a seed. Every single no is a shield. When you begin to live like it matters, you start to see the power behind your decisions. That yes to truth, that yes to forgiveness, that yes to waking up early to seek His face. They are not just habits. They are declarations that your life is aligned with something eternal. And that no to bitterness, that no to compromise, that no to distraction when the Spirit is calling you deeper. Those are not restrictions. They are protections. They are walls of strength built by the wisdom of heaven. And oh, how the enemy would love for you to believe that today is just another day, that your decisions are too small to make a difference, that you can drift through and somehow land in purpose. But friend, that is not how lives of impact are built. You do not stumble into faithfulness. You choose it. You choose it when it's hard. You choose it when it's hidden. You choose it when no one applauds and no one sees. Because you're not doing it for attention. You're doing it out of obedience. You're doing it because you know your life matters in the great tapestry of God's design. Your yes and your no, they are powerful. They draw lines in the sand. They reveal who you are and what you believe. They form the foundation of your legacy. And when they are rooted in truth, when they are spoken from a heart that listens to the whisper of heaven, they carry a weight that hell cannot shake and time cannot erase. That's the kind of life the world needs now. Not louder voices, not faster movements, but deeper decisions, holy resolve, righteous boundaries that declare this soul belongs to the one who created it, redeemed it, and now directs it. And maybe you're thinking, I've made too many wrong choices. I've said yes when I should have said no. I've let moments pass that I should have seized. Hear me now. It's not too late. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is power in your decisions. The same God who formed the stars is willing to meet you right now, to steady your heart, to redirect your course, and to fill your daily yes and no with new strength, new vision, and new grace. The question is, will you live like it matters? Will you rise tomorrow knowing that how you speak, how you work, how you love, how you lead, it matters? Will you see the unseen battles waged in your quiet choices and choose to honor God in them? Because when you live like it matters, your life becomes a testimony. You begin to shine in the dark places. You begin to carry peace into the storms. You begin to walk with the kind of confidence that doesn't come from talent or title, but from knowing you are walking in step with the one who holds the universe in his hands. This is not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about choosing again and again to return to the path, to stay the course, to speak life when it's easier to complain, to stand firm when the pressure says bow. That kind of strength doesn't come from willpower. It comes from surrender, from morning prayer and daily renewal, from time in the Word, from community with the faithful, from remembering every single day that your choices are not isolated. They echo, they build, they break chains, they open doors. So let your yes be full of purpose. Let your no be full of courage. Let your mind be clear and your heart be clean. Because every day you are shaping the future. Every moment you are influencing more than you know. There's a generation watching. There's a family depending. There's a God who is ready to move through you if you'll simply yield your will to His. And oh, what a thing it is to live with clarity. To know that you are not guessing your way through this life, but following a guide who sees the end from the beginning. That kind of assurance gives you power to say yes when it costs you and no when it isolates you. It gives you the strength to take the narrow road, the unseen road, the holy road, because you know it's not about applause or success or comfort. It's about obedience. Let this truth take root deep in your soul. Your life matters. Not just your calling, not just your platform. Your words matter. Your thoughts matter. Your choices matter. When you live like they do, you begin to rise above the noise. You begin to walk with quiet confidence. You begin to see purpose in the mundane and beauty in the battle, because you know who walks with you. You know who lives in you. And you know that when your yes belongs to heaven and your no resists the schemes of hell, you are not just surviving, you are advancing. You are not just reacting, you are leading. You are not just existing. You are living as one who knows the weight of every decision and the worth of every moment surrendered to the hands of God, who never wastes a single day, a single word, a single yes or no spoken in faith, and lived with conviction from a heart made new by grace and grounded in truth. And when you live like that, there's nothing this world can take from you and no force that can stop you from becoming exactly who you were born to be in this world for. Such a time as this, with power that comes not from man, but from the Spirit of the living God who is working in you through every choice to bring glory to His name and victory to your steps and joy to your journey. One faithful yes and no at a time. There is a calling deep within every human heart to rise above mere existence, to do more than just survive the days, to walk with purpose and direction, and to live not in circles of confusion, but on a path that leads somewhere eternal. Too many are stuck in delay, held captive by fear, trapped in hesitation, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. But the ones who walk in power are the ones who decide that progress will be their default, that movement, holy, intentional movement, is the sign of a heart alive in faith and a mind renewed by truth. To move with purpose is not to rush blindly ahead, but to walk in step with a greater plan. It is to live with the awareness that your time is a gift, your breath is borrowed grace, and your choices are eternal investments. This is no time for drifting. This is no season for passive living. The world is too dark, the days too urgent, and your calling too great for you to remain still while heaven is calling you forward. You were not created to stagnate. You were not saved to sit. You were born again to rise and to move with purpose, to let every step echo with the weight of eternity and the light of divine direction. Now, some may think that progress only counts when it's dramatic, when it's loud, when it makes headlines or breaks records. But the kingdom of God works differently. It is in the faithfulness of small steps that great moves of God are born. Progress is built not just in victories, but in choices. Choices to pray when you don't feel like it, to forgive when it hurts, to speak life when you're tempted to stay silent. These are not minor decisions. These are foundations. These are movements. And when they become your default, when they become your reflex, when they become your response instead of reaction, your life begins to shift into divine rhythm. Think of a river, always moving, always flowing. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't second guess its direction. It knows its source and it presses forward, shaping the land, nourishing the ground, changing the landscape wherever it flows. That is the image of a life surrendered to purpose. It moves not out of pressure, but out of peace, not out of impulse, but out of insight. It understands that God is always doing a new thing, and those who walk with Him must be ready to move with Him. When you let progress be your default mode, you stop wasting energy on what can't be changed and start investing in what can be transformed. You stop circling the mountain and start climbing it. You stop complaining about the wilderness and start preparing for the promised land. And though the progress may be slow, though the steps may be small, they are steady and they are sure because they are guided not by emotion, but by revelation, not by the opinions of others, but by the unchanging Word of God. You are not called to stand still in fear while your destiny waits. You are called to step forward in faith, to move when the Spirit says move, to walk even when you don't see the whole road ahead, because your progress is not dependent on your strength. It's sustained by His power. And when He says go, no enemy can hold you back. When He says rise, no weight can keep you down. When He says speak, no lie can silence your voice. But you must move. You must act. You must walk with the confidence that comes from knowing the Lord goes before you and stands behind you and lives within you. Too many have made comfort their goal and caution their default. But purpose was never birthed in comfort. It is born in courage. It is shaped in resistance. It is revealed in obedience. And obedience always moves. Obedience doesn't wait for signs in the sky. It listens for the whisper of the Spirit and moves in faith. It trusts that even if you only see the next step, that step is enough, because the God who brought you this far will not leave you in the middle. He is not a God of halfway. He is a God of completion, of fulfillment, of progress that transforms the heart, the mind, and the future. So what does it look like to move with purpose in your daily life? It means you wake up with an intention to seek first the kingdom. You don't stumble into your day. You start it with focus. You pray not because it's a duty, but because it's the oxygen of your soul. You serve not to be seen, but because love compels you. You plan your steps not based on convenience, but on conviction. And when trials come, and they will, you do not stop. You do not retreat. You stand firm and then move again. Because progress is not perfection. It is movement in the right direction. It is the resolve to keep going, to keep growing, to keep trusting, even when the path is steep and the valley is long. Let your habits reflect your purpose. Let your calendar reveal your priorities. Let your conversations carry vision. Let your actions speak louder than your intentions. For when you move with purpose, your life becomes a living sermon. It testifies of a faith that works, a love that acts, a truth that walks. And those around you begin to notice. They see the difference in how you handle disappointment, how you speak to your children, how you steward your time, how you treat the stranger. They see a life not swayed by every wind, but anchored in the unshakable. And let me tell you, friend, there will be days when you feel tired, when the progress feels invisible, when the purpose feels buried under pressure. But those are the days when your decision to move anyway becomes the most powerful statement of faith. That's when heaven leans in. That's when the ground begins to shift. That's when chains begin to break, not because you moved fast, but because you moved faithful. There is no neutral ground in the life of a believer. You are either moving forward or being pulled back, so choose today. Will you let fear dictate your steps, or will you let faith define them? Will you sit still in regret, or will you rise in hope? Will you wait for ideal conditions, or will you walk in the strength of the one who makes crooked paths straight? The world does not need more people who drift. It needs people who walk with purpose, who live with conviction, who love with power, who move not according to the patterns of this world, but according to the heartbeat of heaven. And when you choose that kind of movement, when you let progress be your default, when you refuse to settle for delay or defeat, you become a vessel of change, a carrier of light, a warrior of purpose. And the life you live will not only bear fruit, but it will shake the ground you walk on and leave a trail of grace and glory that leads others home one faithful step at a time. There is a truth written into the very foundation of creation that your life is not an accident and your future is not a mystery, waiting to be discovered by chance. You have been given something sacred, something powerful, the ability to choose, to build, to create, not with bricks and mortar, but with daily decisions. You are not merely a bystander in your own life. You are the architect of your tomorrow. You are shaping what's to come by the way you live right now, by the decisions you make when no one is looking, by the values you stand on and the direction you walk in. Every choice you make is a stone laid on the path ahead. Every yes and every no is a beam in the structure of your future. And that structure will either stand strong when storms come, or it will collapse under the weight of compromise. But you get to decide. That's the power God has entrusted to you, not to control everything, but to choose the foundation on which your future will be built. And that future, that calling, that destiny is not waiting for you in some distant place. It begins today, right now, with one faithful decision at a time. You don't build a strong life all at once. No one lays a whole house in a day. The builder starts with a vision, a blueprint, a deep understanding of the purpose behind the project. And then, step by step, piece by piece, that vision becomes a reality. That's how it is with you. God has already written the blueprint of your life in heaven. He's placed the gifts, the desires, the strength in you to fulfill it. But He won't build it without you. He's waiting on your surrender. He's inviting your partnership. He's calling you to pick up the tools of obedience and faith and begin to build, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for permission, waiting for a sign, waiting for someone to come build their dreams for them. But friend, you've already been called. You've already been equipped. And when you begin to walk in that truth, when you begin to see your time, your energy, your choices as materials for your future, you start to live differently. You stop wasting hours on things that don't matter. You stop building walls out of fear and regret. You start laying down truth. You start choosing discipline over distraction. You begin to build a tomorrow you don't have to run from because it's shaped by the hands of faith. This is not about striving. It's not about perfection. It's about intention. It's about waking up and asking yourself, what am I building with this day? What kind of home am I creating for my mind? What kind of legacy am I writing with my words? What kind of life am I shaping with my thoughts, my habits, my reactions? You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a builder in the hands of the Master. But you must choose to build, and when you do, when you take responsibility for your choices, something shifts in the atmosphere. You stop blaming and start creating. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop drifting and start designing, and each decision becomes an act of worship. a declaration that says, I believe in the purpose God has placed inside me. I believe in the future He's leading me toward. I believe that with Him, I can build a life that not only stands, but shines. You won't always see the progress right away. Some days will feel like you're laying brick after brick and nothing looks different. But don't despise those days. Don't overlook the power of consistency, for even the greatest cathedrals were built one stone at a time. Even the strongest trees grew 1 inch at a time. And if you are building with faith, with truth, with love, you can be sure that something unshakable is rising inside of you, even if you can't see it yet. And don't forget, there will be resistance. There will be setbacks. The enemy doesn't fight what he's not threatened by. But take heart. If you are building something that honors God, He will fight for you. He will supply the strength. He will give wisdom for every nail, every beam, every decision. You are not building alone. The Spirit of the living God is your helper, your counselor, your source. And when you build with Him, your life becomes more than success. It becomes a sanctuary, a place where peace dwells, a place where others find shelter, a place where legacy is born every day as a construction site. Every moment is a chance to build or to break. You choose with every word you speak, every thought you entertain, every action you take. Will it strengthen the foundation or will it weaken it? Will it reflect the vision or betray it? Will it carry the light or invite the darkness? That's the power of your daily decisions. They are not small. They are eternal. And when you make them with purpose, when you make them with the end in mind, your life begins to align with heaven's design. And oh, the beauty of a life well built. Not perfect, but faithful. Not flashy, but firm. A life that weathers the storms, that holds up when the winds blow, that speaks of grace and courage and vision. That kind of life doesn't happen by chance. It is crafted by those who know their choices matter, their time matters, their calling matters. And they live each day with the holy determination to build something worthy of the one who called them. So let this be the day you stop waiting and start building. Let this be the day you pick up the tools of discipline and love and truth. Let this be the day you commit to becoming the architect of your tomorrow, not by your own might, but by surrendering to the one who designed your life with divine purpose. And as you make each decision with Him, as you build each day with intention, you will see your life rise into something sacred, something lasting, something strong enough to stand the test of time and beautiful enough to reflect the glory of God through every choice you make, every step you take, every prayer you pray, every moment you surrender. And that is how you build your tomorrow, one decision at a time, without fear, without delay, without regret, only faith, only purpose, only love that endures forever. So as you leave this place today, remember, you are not waiting on your future, you are building it. Every choice you make, every step you take, every word you speak is shaping the life you will live tomorrow. Don't hand that power over to fear, doubt, or distraction. Use it with faith. Use it with boldness. Use it knowing the one who called you is faithful to finish what He started. Build with purpose. Decide with conviction. Live like it matters. Because your tomorrow is not in the hands of chance. It's being crafted right now by the choices you make today.